Now, the story that we're just about to share is not laughable, and I think that's why we're trying to have light moments before we break it.
True.
One good news is that Kenyan banks are posting up to great percentages outside the country.
Up to 87% growth in profit.
In profit.
In some countries.
In some countries. And of course, Kenya banks post 75% profit in Tanzania. As we look at that, we are also looking at page 4 of the Business Daily. And it's quite sad that companies plan more job cuts on tough economy.
That's right. For non-bank private sector companies, they're intending to shed 19% of their workforce from 2023. That's according to a survey done by the CBK, of course, of extending a run of cost-cutting measures in a tough economy. I think you would have to be blind not to have seen the job cuts that have already happened in so many companies in the private sector in Kenya. Of course, some companies have outrightly just closed their doors. Manufacturers have moved to other countries over the high cost of operations and the cost of doing business here, and the job cuts continue to loom. Now, previously, in the beginning of the year, they had said that they would most likely shed less than that. I think 17%, and then 18% in the first quarter, and now it's 19%.
It's quite sad. Of course, we can look at the economic challenges that are ongoing. As Mariam has already told you, most companies are adopting cost-cutting measures to survive in a tough economy, and because the business environment has not been robust, most people are withholding their cash, and that's why I think we also had a crunch with our dollar. There's the impact on the workforce. Over 300,000 people could be cut. Jobs could actually be cut as part of these measures, impacting multiple sectors, and it's mostly the non-banking sector, because banks receive 2 paisa.
Yeah, banks are doing all right. Of course, I think even as we see numbers like this, we have to understand that this is a survey carried out by the CBK for what is considered formal employment, right? Which is about 2.7 million people. That's outside of the public sector and government jobs. 2.07 million people. That's quite a lot. But then when you think of now informal jobs, day laborers, etc., people who get their wages on a daily, weekly basis, people who are entrepreneurs, people who are in the Juakali sector, those are people who are not counted in these types of surveys, but are definitely going to also feel the effects of these tough economic times.
Yeah, and of course, the survey by the CBK targeted 354 private sector firms, including banks and unbanked private companies. Found out that most companies are not optimistic about retaining staff from their 2023 workforce into the 2024 year. As we look at that, also most of the industries that have been affected are the trade industries, manufacturing industries, and most recently we've seen the media industry being affected, and in those sectors we've seen layoffs. And with such layoffs, najulizanga swali moja, what else can you do with your skills? That's the big question, because you might be skilled in one sector and you might be working in an industry, you might have worked in an industry for a long time, but what else can you do, especially with the technological advancement? You can use the hashtag morning fix and tell us how best do you cope in such situations.